Well, hey there. Thanks for stopping by again. It's Drew. We're going to be mocking up the radiator in the race car today. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we're going to do that. So, obviously we've got to start by getting all this crap out of the way, right? So there's a bunch of bolts here, and I've loosened them already for you, so you don't got to, watch me take them all out. So let's pull them out. Got two back here, one up at the front here. Obviously the same on the other side, so I'm going to walk around and get them out for you. So again, we're going to pull out the one up here at the front, the two here at the back. Then, like every other modern race car, the hood's going to pull off. So we'll go ahead and lift this up and out of the way. Set that back here. But you can see these plastics are in the way. Luckily, those bolts we talked about, let a guy just slide them right out of the way. Let me walk around here and take off the other one for you. So, yep, we got this plastic. Let's take it off. We'll set it over here out of the way. So as you can see, that produced just a ton of room here to work on this thing. So I'm going to come grab you, flip you around, show you what I'm working on. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, this made just a ton of room here. We're going to be setting that radiator right in line right here. So as you can see, this pad right there, and the other one, let me lean you down, right there is what we're going to be setting this radiator on. It's literally just going to sit in there and lean against this plastic shroud right there, which deflects the air into the radiator. So I'm going to set you up here and we'll grab the radiator. Alright guys, so like I said, let me grab the radiator here. We're going to mock it up right there in that front spot that I just showed you. And first I'll tell you a little bit about the radiator. It's a Howe Racing double pass Chevy radiator, custom 15-inch tall to fit in this car here. The chassis is obviously very narrow and short. Let me set this here in those pads and I'll line it up and we'll talk about what's next. Alrighty, so obviously this panel here is going to be riveted into those holes on the radiator. That's going to hold that from falling forward or back, but that'll be one of the last steps. Let me come around now. We'll grab some radiator hoses, get them mocked up, and we'll go from there. So the radiator hose, obviously nothing special here, just a used hunk of junk. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the lower hose. Is that some sort of mouse? Anyways, I'm going to put this on and then we'll grab the upper. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we got the lower one on. Upper one again, nothing fancy, just some used thing that was laying around. I'm going to go ahead and go over on the other side and snip this on the top. Come on now. Oh, that's not going to work. So I'll pick you up and show you what I'm dealing with over here. As you can see here, that's not going to work right there. So obviously on my other car, this thermostat housing was in a fixed position and must have had a different angle on it. So I'm going to have to swap this out with a rotating one that's adjustable to be able to get that right up about in there. But there's the upper and there's a lower one ought to work. So next we're going to mock up the fan, which is going to sit right on the snout of that water pump and come right to the edge here of the radiator. So let me figure out a way to set you up so you can see that, and I'll show you how we're going to measure that to get that spaced out right. Alrighty guys, so we're back here. We're going to show you how to space this fan blade out here, which is nothing fancy, just this regular GM 4-blade pitch fan. I'm going to show you how to space it off the water pump in relation to this radiator, and what I like to run at least for spacing, to make sure that the fan blade's sucking enough air through the radiator here to keep the motor cool. So first thing we'll do is we'll grab the blade here, I'll drop it down right over the snout here, line it up with those bolts on the pulley for the water pump, and just see where I'm at. And obviously you can see this gap right here. I'm gonna say it's about 2 finger width, so probably about 2 inches. That's gonna be too far away. So I'm gonna pull this out, I'm gonna get my freight tape, and I'm gonna measure down here off of the lowest point, which would obviously be the closest, and see what my gap between the pulley, mounting surface, and the radiator is. And I'm running right about 2 3/8. So to find the gap I need, we'll just go ahead and we'll take a 1/2 inch off that, and that'll give me about, I'm gonna say 1.5 inches. We'll play safe. So I need about 1.5 inch spacer here on the fan blade. That'll get me about, what I like to run is 1 finger width, so about 1/2 inch away from the radiator, to mount this fan blade for optimal cooling. However, I'm gonna have to order that part, obviously. Don't have it here laying around. I'll order that, we'll go from there. But that's it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Well, where did I put the nitrous? Always losing stuff.